Okay, this is screencast number 1 of section A2, number 1 of A2. And this is the brain, the human brain is the section. All right, so let's take an overview before we go in. All right, so you might remember from 6.5, the nervous system has 2 main parts. That is the central and the peripheral nervous system. All right, so the option here really does focus on the brain and the other things that are found within the skull, the eye, and the ear. You'll see coming up. The peripheral nervous system we dealt with in 6.5. And yes, so let's move on. All right, so the human brain, that's the name of the section. The first subsection to this is an understanding which continues the idea of section A1 on neurology, neural formation, and that is the understanding that the neural tube, that's section A1, expands to form the brain. So if you go back and you take a quick look here at what you have notice you've got the neural tube, different colors here, so we want you to notice what part of the brain it's going to become. Look at this diagram below. All right, let's forget about anything else that you might not understand here in different parts of the brain. Focus on the neural tube from the first section here. So the brain begins really as an expansion of the anterior part of the neural tube. There are 3 regions, as you can see there: the pink forebrain, the yellow midbrain, and the hindbrain. And you see the blue spinal cord, other part of the central nervous system. So that's the developing brain. Now the picture on the bottom right is the human brain development. You can see the neural tube up on the top left, and as it begins to develop into the different portions of the brain here, where you can see encephalon words there. So the different regions of the brain have separate functions. All right, so the neural tube goes into the brain, develop into the head. The remainder of the neural tube that you see in blue there will develop into the spinal cord. Cells that comprise the neural crest will develop to form most of the peripheral nervous system. Right, so we go to another picture here. You can see the development of the human brain comes from, again, 3 sections here, and then the embryo is able to differentiate into, again, you're not going to need to know every single one of the cephalons, so we'll take a quick look on it and move on. But you look at the complexity of the embryo as it goes from 3 weeks to 11 weeks. So by the time you get there, the telencephalon, the cerebrum, so forth and so on. And again, the cephalons aren't the important part here. You understanding that the forebrain becomes cerebrum, the midbrain becomes the brainstem, and the hindbrain becomes the brainstem and the cerebellum, because that's what's going to be highlighted in the next section there. So again, the neural tube expands to form the brain. All right, neural tube forms the brain: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, forebrain, cerebrum, midbrain, brainstem, hindbrain, brainstem. All right, there are parts of the brainstem, as you'll see in a couple minutes, and the hindbrain also the cerebellum, where you can notice a little further there. All right, so we're out of this, just an introduction here to the brain formation and relating it back to the last screencast.